What's up, witches? It's Witch Angel Nakora, and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendsim. Last episode, we got to hang out with Marvis Zolotto, the coolest juggalo. And now we're back in Volume 16 to check out the other half. So none of my ballyhoo, let's get back into it. Now it's time to hang out with the gravekeeper, Fozzer Velyet. His last name's a little hard for me to pronounce. The night has turned foggy, and you can't see far in any direction, but you seem to be surrounded on every side lit by a bare ground, hummocked and pitted, almost like a weird abstract sculpture and covered with greenish moss. Based on the experiences you've had with Alternian flora, you imagine the moss is probably poisonous, acidic, explosive, or something of that nature. Suddenly, a shadow looms up out of the darkness, making you jump, but it's only a leaning signpost. As you move closer, you can see that the sign says, "Welcome to a Happy Absence Pit Park." What? Before you can figure out what that might be, and you hear a voice muttering to itself in the fog, and a sound like dirt being shoveled. "Shovel, shovel, toil and trouble, low bloods of the world unite." You move cautiously towards the voice until the figure of a troll emerges from the fog. He seems to be digging in the hard, bare ground. "There is a tide in the affairs of trolls, which, taken at the flood, leads on to the workers' paradise." You clear your throat, and the troll turns swiftly. "Who's there? Who's there, I say?" You sound drunk. You announce soothingly that you're just a poor wayfaring stranger. "Not a ghost or any nonsense like that?" You confirm that you are not. "Good, 'cause I don't believe in 'em. I'm a dialectical materialist." "Well, if you're not a ghost, who are you?" You explain that you're a humble alien who recently, well, not so recently, crashed on Alternia, and who's been looking ever since for friendship. I hear you blushing trail off into a mumble. The troll snorts and comes close to study you. His breath is not the freshest. He kind of looks like 2D from the Gorillas. Which, by the way, favorite band. Love them. Well, actually, one of my favorite bands. "An alien? Well, you are the color of cheese. But it could be makeup. It could be a high blood in disguise, coming to watch poor little Fozzer Velyet pursue his humble profession of pit perturber for some unknown reason of your own." Fozzer rubs at the exposed skinny arm to see if the makeup will come off. It doesn't, but he's still suspicious. "A real alien would know what outer space is like. Describe outer space to me." Well, you describe attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion and watching sea beams glitter in the dark of the Tannhauser Gate. You express the belief that all those moments would be lost in time like tears in rain. These authentic depictions seem to satisfy Fozzer. He nods his head and seems to think. He doesn't appear to be a fast thinker. Finally, he seems to have an idea. "Do the cheese entities of where you come from have a strong consciousness of class struggle?" You have no idea, buddy, especially with our stupid president. You have no idea what he's talking about, but you are always good at guessing the right answer on multiple choice tests. You assure him that the people where you come from have such a strong consciousness of class struggle that they use it to jack up their cars when they get flat tires. A big smile overspreads Fozzer's face, and he pumps his fists in the air. "Pleased to meet you, comrade alien. All power to the workers. I imagine that fine me performing the honest labor of the working class makes you feel right at home." You assure him that it does. "I suppose that you wish that you could share in the simple proletarian joys and sorrows of the Atarnian and oppressed classes." You're not sure what proletarian means, but sharing joys and sorrows sounds like a hopeful prelude to friendship. So you say you're just thinking that you would like to share that kind of joy and sorrows. "Easily done, comrade. Now here, take the soil perturbation lance. Enter right in solidarity with the Alternian working class right now. No, don't thank me. Freedom, brotherhood, and equality is my motto. Conduct your perturbations right here, if you please." He points to where you're shoveling, and you begin shoveling there too. The moss that covers the ground is as tough as leather, and the Alternian soil is rocky, hard, and unforgiving. No surprise there. And before long, you're sweating profusely, but no exertion is too great for the pursuit of friendship. Fozzer watches you labor with brotherly satisfaction. Class solidarity is a wonderful thing, isn't it? From each according to his ability, to each according to his need. You look like a walking cheese, but your muscular development is impressive. Just past time while you labor in solidarity. What do you think of our planet? What has been your impression of it since on your visit from outer space? It's no worse than a lot of places, with some good and some bad. As a guest, it's only polite to say nice things about your host's home planet. Besides, meeting Fozzer has stoked your desire for a sweet friendship morsel, and a little praise and flattery often goes a long way to make people like you. So, with a little breath you have to spare from your digging, tell Fozzer that you found Alternia most interesting. The fierce rush of life here induces a salutary wakefulness, and boredom is virtually unknown. Also, the social structure arising from the hemo spectrum and the multi-dimensional relationship matrix is very unusual, producing a fascinating array of possible interactions among people. You're looking forward to the day when you tell your grandchildren about it, but Father doesn't look as pleased as you hoped. So you find Alternia agrees with you? Oh yes, very much, you pant. You find it interesting, fascinating. Definitely. To you, the spectacle of those who have been born with certain blood colors, is exploiting and oppressing those who have not, just a picturesque detail. Well, you wouldn't go as far as to. You find nothing objectionable in a society where the strong kill the weak at will, based on nothing more but the color of a bodily fluid, where the upper class see the lower as nothing more than inanimate objects, where the only purpose is to serve them. The whole corrupt society is structured solely to breed cannon fodder for a psychotic empress's mad plan to conquer the entire galaxy. More people to oppress. That certainly wasn't what you. While the streets run with rust, orange and gold blood, you stand unconcernedly and remark how interesting and fascinating Alternia is. While fish people and their bluish lackeys strike the pap from the mouths of low-blood wrigglers, you smile pleasantly and remark how unusual Alternia is. Certainly not, but you can't judge other cultures by one's own. Oh, you can't dodge your class responsibility that way, you cur. You so-called intellectuals try to hide your fawning servility to the bosses by pretending to view society objectively, without moral judgments, when all the time you just simply crypto-imperious lapdogs. And you come to the Happy Absence Pit Park pretending solidarity with the obsessed. Psh! I see now that you're nothing but a cat's paw of the oppressor class. Nothing but a cheese-colored Judas Iscariot, standing as a spy, traitor, bootlicker, sycophant, murderous, monopolist, profiteer, slave trader, cannibal, parasite, technocrat, gangster, ectoplasm. No, you try to object, but Fozzer seizes the shovel from you and turns away. Turncoat, narc, double-crosser, weasel, hijacker, vulture, Visigoth, breath analyzer. You watch his back recede into the fog, your heart sinking with the wreck of your hopes and dreams for friendship. Oh, so sorry, Fozzer. Don't worry, Pandora's on break right now, so I'll use her reversing magic. Be right back. It's by far the worst place you've ever heard of. The feeling comes over you suddenly that nothing can be more important than truth. Truth is at the foundation of all real friendship. Truth sets you free. Honestly, it's the best policy. So you take a deep breath and say you hope that you won't give offense. But in your opinion, Alternia is the nastiest, ugliest, cruelest, most inhospitable, and most unfair place you've ever seen or heard of in a long life of travel and study. Even the plants are bloodthirsty. Even the soil is hard and mean. You've made many, no friends here, but you've heard it's possible to make friends with lions, bears, killer whales, and other wild and dangerous creatures. In fact, often here on Alternia, you felt that you've been locked in a cage with a bunch of such wild and dangerous creatures. As you've talked, you've been watching Fozzer anxiously for signs of anger. You're surprised to see that instead, he seems to be loving it. And what about our political system? You've already put your foot in it, so you go ahead and put the other one in too. He expressed the opinion that a violent, rigidly stratified, insectile Social structure created solely to generate soldiers for a mad project to conquer the entire galaxy might raise eyebrows in some quarters. You admire natural selection and survival of the fittest as much as the next person, but this is overkill on a titanic scale. As he's been speaking, Fozzer's smile has grown wider and wider, and he's shown other signs of approval, such as jumping up and down and whirling around. He pumps his fists in the air. Forward to perfect socialism! So good to talk with someone who hadn't been hypnotized from Wrigglerhood and with counter-revolutionary pap. Someone who sees conditions alternative for what they really are, who sees the evil of the high bloods. Someone who will march in the vanguard of the workers' revolution to face unflinchingly the onslaught of the aristocracy, perhaps, nay, probably to die in a hot hail of bullets, but never turn their back on the people. Oh, let me embrace you, comrade alien. He does so. He's oily and smells like mossy soil and poor ooze. But this doesn't dampen your spirits. What better preamble for making a suggestion of friendship? Agreeing with people about politics never fails to bring friendship closer. But before you bring it up, Fozzer, having first kissed you on both cheeks, continues. But we mustn't allow our celebration of the people's revolution to interfere with the honest labor that ennobles us. I'm holding you back from your ticket to the workers' paradise. Please proceed with your soul perturbation. All power to the people. Death to arbitrary human spectral discrimination. Forward, comrade! He waves his hand with a flourish, and you start digging again. You wonder if it'd be just as revolutionary if you trade places with so Fozzer could do the digging, and you could do the speechifying, but you don't wish to disturb the perfect harmony now existing between the two of you. Instead, you use what little available breath to inquire what all this soil perturbation is in aid of. Why, coal pit, of course. Didn't you see the sign? This is the Happy Absence Pit Park. Fozzer Villiers, proprietor. Alternative's reactionary tradition is just to dig coal pits anywhere without second thought. But our revolutionary future demands that we have more respect for the dead. So I've created this wonderful innovation, the Pit Park. There's a clown concert being held not too far from here, so I anticipated brisk demand shortly. Best be ready for those things. Having a lot of dead clowns lying around, rotting on the property is unpleasant, not to mention unsanitary. Get them underground pronto, is our motto here at the Happy Absence Pit Park. You're wondering privately whether a little class solidarity couldn't be extended to Purple Bloods, remembering your dear friend Caraco Piero when Fozzer seems to give a jump. Oh, sweet little Caraco. I want him to be my child so bad. No, that he is not a ghost. Graceful for an excuse to stop digging, you turn to look in the direction Fozzer is staring, leaning on your soil perturbation lance. You don't see anything but fog. You ask what is not ghosts. Nothing is. I'm a dialectical materialist, and if any ghosts come around the Happy Absence Pit Park, they should be where I won't believe in them, so they might as well ghost somewhere else. You confess that you don't see anything but foggy darkness and humped and pitted ground, or you guess no piles of cold Alternians exoskeletons are buried in the coal pits. You don't see any ghosts because there's no such thing, but the past few nights I've saw beams of light shining up out of the ground. Almost as if metaphorically, of course, some of the exoskeletons in the coal pit had gotten hold of some flashlights and were shining them up through chinks in the soil. There it is again. Whoa, hi there. That's how you see it. A column of light that flashes up through the fog and is gone, seeming to come up from the crack in the ground, which it briefly illuminates in blinding white. Fascinated, you move toward the crack, which is now dark and invisible again. What are you doing? You look at Fozzer in surprise. He seems terrified. You act tactfully whether he doesn't think you ought to see what that is. For example, it could be some infrastructure malfunction that could blow the Happy Absence Pit Park and all of its inhabitants, living and dead, sky high. You're not even sure that they have infrastructure in Alternia, but one can't be too careful. Well, maybe you're right. We are fearless revolutionary cadres after all. You think you hear his teeth chattering. You move towards where you think the flash came from. Fozzer close behind you, peering over your shoulder. You can't help wondering where he'll be when the vanguard of his revolution is braving hails of bullets. You very much hope that his revolution, if it ever comes, won't happen while you're around. Whoa! Sorry for those who are epileptic. Just then a whole series of lights flash silently up from the ground, making columns through the fog. Fozzer jumps and howls behind you. Non-existent! You tell him there's undoubtedly a logical explanation, though you have to admit that you had a weird feeling just now when the lights appeared, like a momentary dizziness or feeling of discontinuity. But you're more curious than her now. Murmuring comforting things to Fozzer, you start digging right around where the lights you saw just came from. And it's weird, because you break through some kind of thin crust, as if the soil in that particular place is just a few inches thick over a brittle surface that your shovel goes right through like some old pottery. You wonder what you've inadvertently dug into an old coal pit. But what bright light would be coming out of an old coal pit? And in some weird way, it doesn't feel like a coal pit. It feels like something metaphysical, like reality itself is particularly thin, right in that spot, and you've broken through the very fabric of with your soil perturbation lance. You dig around the edges of the hole, enlarging it until it's about a foot wide. The darkness within makes the darkness of the Alternian night seem bright by comparison. So dark that the soil falling into it and the part of your soil perturbation lance poking into it seems to vanish completely, as if on the other side of that hole reality gives itself out. You and Fozzer stare curiously down the hole. Suddenly a blinding but strangely blank light bursts up out of the hole and into your faces. And at the same time there's a deafening sound, which seems to vibrate the very framework of reality, like a gigantic needle scratching a gigantic record. You're standing in the foggy night, holding a soil perturbation lance that has just been handed to you by Fozzer Valiez. He points to where he's been digging, and you begin digging in the same place. The moss that covers the ground is tough as leather, and the Alternian soil is rocky, hard, and unforgiving. No surprise there, and before long you're sweating profusely. But you feel strange, like you were just standing somewhere else, doing something else, seeing something else. The after images of blinding light and a deafening sound seem to linger in your eyes and ears, but all around you is nothing but dark fog and bare ground, humped and pitted. Must have a dizzy spell. You shake it off and begin perturbating the soil. No exertion is too great for the pursuit of friendship, after all. Fozzer watches you with satisfaction. Honest work is a wonderful thing. All hail the old regime, eh? You look like a walk of cheese, but your muscular development is impressive. What do you think of it? What do you think of our planet? What has been your impression of it on your visit? Oh my god, we are in a loop. Oh, Scheisse! I think we just entered in an alternate universe. Because before when we said that, he was happy that we didn't, agree with the culture here. And now after being hit with that big old blast, we've been hit with, a reverse. Like, we're playing Zero Escape, and all of a sudden I choose Betray instead of Ally, and then second round of the AB game, I hit Ally then Betray, and just things get weird. No doubt you could anticipate that blood honesty like this would give offense, and indeed it seems to have done so. Fisher remarks Fozzer is frowning darkly. So, you've come to Alternia as an uninvited guest only to criticize and judge our civilization, eh? No! You know enough about our society, our billions of years of evolution, and our painstaking rise from mud-dwelling insectile ancestors, the political and sociological theories of our statesmen, philosophers, and scientists to make those judgments, do you? Well, no doubt you've done studies establishing what would happen if the hemispectrum groups were placed in different relations to one another. For example, if Rustbloods were the highest group and Fuchsia Bloods the lowest. Well, no, but I suppose your planet is so similar to Alternia that you have a firm basis on which you apply your preconceptions to. Not at all, but... And surely you aliens are similar enough biologically and physiologically to trolls to know how we feel about our own society? I thought not. I guess from the very first that you were nothing but a dilettante, post-socialist, pseudo-intellectual sprouting your ivory tower theories. Well, I at least did what you were talking about. Well, smart pants alien, I suggest you take your cheese-like person and your theories back home to your own planet. Won't be long before her most high imperial condescension conquers your arm of the galaxy, though we alternatives can return the favor by standing in judgment over your society and politics. In the meantime, I bid you good side room. What the butt? Okay, I have enough energy to do one more rewind. Because doing a rewind spell takes it out of me each time. Ugh. This should be the last time I can use the spell. Otherwise, I have to call Pandora. And she's usually PO'd at me every time I have to. Alright. As a guest, it's only polite to say nice things about your host's home planet. Yada yada yada. We know about that part. As you're speaking, a satisfied smile overspreads Fozzer's face. I'm glad you realize the nobility of our ancient society, with its orderly hierarchy and our naturally evolved degrees of privilege reflecting naturally evolved degrees of ability. You're pleased that your words have met with approval, but you're still a little troubled. You have not deja vu sensation that this whole exchange could have gone quite differently. Maybe even did go quite differently, and sometimes in the past or in parallel universes. You inquire timidly whether the total domination of the lower bloods by the higher of Alternia doesn't sometimes feel like oppression. Never. I am myself only RUSTBLOODED, so I like the privileges of the higher bloods. But the most important thing for society is that everyone should be in their appointed place and do the things they're suited for. If all the passengers in the rowboat keep the seats and row in the same direction, the boat will quickly reach the destination. But if the passengers all jump and start running around grabbing the other's oars, the boat will capsize and all will be lost. You remark diplomatically that Alternia isn't a rowboat rowing towards a destination. You're wrong. A plane is very much like a rowboat advancing through the black water space. And as for our destination, all of us on Alternia aim but at a single goal every hour of every day, to serve her most high imperial condescension in conquering her glorious galaxy-wide empire. Long live the Empress! We're definitely in an alternate universe. Because before he was basically knocking her down, now he's building her up. Yep. Houston, we have a problem. We have someone who's basically gotten X-Files on us here. Well, you suppose the sense of being part of something larger than yourself makes up for a lot. It does. And naturally evolved systems are almost always more robust than artificially designed ones. They are. And it's true that Alternia's social structure does bring some semblance of order to a collection of 12 disparate troll subtypes. It is. Fozzer beams at you fondly. There's nothing that warms the heart like someone who thinks you're right about everything. It's so wonderful to find someone, even someone who looks like a piece of cheese, who's so intelligent and friendly, and understands society and politics so perfectly. Finally, a true friend. Well, even though he got a little bit brainwashed, we finally made him our friend. Volume 16, man. This one's full of insanity. But hey, Marvis and Fozzer are our friends. And that's all I need to hear and see. Ugh, and I got the burps from doing that voice. I thought I'd do like a little hillbilly kind of voice, because think about it. He's always digging in the dirt. He's working hard with his hands. He's a big old country boy. But anyway, that's volume 16 of Hiveswap Friendsim. Volume 17 should be either later this month or early December. I do not know. I'll keep an eye out. Other than that, I'm done. Because volume 16 is done, dusted, in the box, on the channel. We're good to go. So, I'll see you all soon. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button with the big old bibbity bobbity boop, and I'll see you all soon. Mwah! Stay magical, my friends. And that chapter was nuts.